ले सबका तो मन मधुरस घोल रे, कर ले संगों का संग, तज मन मिथ्या कुसंग, शरण प्रभु की आजा रे। पल पल जीवन जाए रे, कर ले प्रभु का भजन, शरण प्रभु की। सहना भवतु, सहनौ भुनक्तु, सह वीर्यं करवावहै, तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्ति। We have been studying about the nature of our birth. How do we get any circumstance or situation which includes our birth and our death? So many people believe that there are some extraneous factors that influence our circumstances, situation, birth, death. We have so many outside elements to blame, to criticize, to condemn, to praise, to thank. Vedanta must be the ultimate in self-efficacy, in the rootedness in the individual, in the power of this being. Everything that's happening in your life is because you want it so. Every movement you have made, everything that has happened to you is because you have wanted it so. So when you hear that, you will find that, yes, in many cases this is true, but in many cases it is not true. So if it is not true, then how can this be so? So Vedanta explains that with the help of a physics law, the law of parallelogram, the parallelogram law of forces. What does this law state? That if there is a free floating object, okay, and there is one force pushing it in this direction and another one forcing it in this direction, this free floating object will go neither in this side nor this side, assuming these two forces are equal, but will go in the center. So what we see over here is that the object moves in a place or in a direction where there is no force prevalent. So that's how you can understand why your life is different from your desire. How's that? Now imagine this free-floating object has a million and a billion forces pulling and pushing in different directions. Where will this go? It will go in the resultant direction. And in the resultant direction, there may be no direct force there at all. So it's being pulled like this, like this, like this, like this, so many directions. So it goes off in this direction, in which there is no force at all. But that is the resultant force. So similarly, in our lives, we have endless amount of desires, millions and billions. And the consequence of it is our life becomes unpredictable because we are being pushed in so many different directions. So we end up going in a direction where we did not even wish to go. Now, we can think of examples of that. One example we had last time, which we discussed, was here's a lady who is very busy in her work. She has to go to her job, she has to look after her children, she has her in-laws, her home, other relations, she has her hobbies, whatever. She has a very, very full life. And she's tired, so she just thinks to herself, I wish I could just stay in bed and somebody comes and looks after me. What a perfect life that would be. She thinks this thought. Okay, and she's so busy, she's got so many things and she's running helter skelter. Now, just think in her kind of life, how is this thought ever going to get fulfilled? Possibly she will fall ill, reach a hospital where everything will come to her on a tray. Or she may fall ill, be at home, and then somebody has to take care of. So, if you ask her, do you want to be ill? Her answer is no. I never asked to be ill, but I have asked for something. I've asked for lying in bed with food coming to me in along with all these other things that I want. And the only condition under which this will happen is if you're ill. So though you didn't ask for being ill, that's what happens. Now take another example. You can make any amount of example. Imagine a boy.
Hariom ma'am, I have one doubt related to this one only. See, we have this formula, vasana, desire, thought, action, and action will create your samsara. But this is just a thought, and how the thought can create a samsara? It has to follow like we have random thoughts. I know I say rest, 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 and finally it happens. So just a thought, there should be an action consequence, and your environment, right? So how is just a well thought of thought resulting in this? This was a doubt that was really plaguing me for some time.
When we say thought, it includes action. It includes whenever you say action or thought or desire, it includes that whole chain because that whole chain goes together.
Okay. So in this example, how will the action be? Because she's not doing anything to get ill, or she's just thinking, wish I get rest, wish I get rest. And 2 days later, she's ill and people are tending to. But what action has she taken?
Overwork.
Okay.
No rest, no break, just constantly working. This is what will happen.
But just a thought cannot create an environment.
No. The thought cannot create an environment. No. The thought is creating your environment with or without action. Like in the sense, suppose I want to be a very rich person. Okay, this is my thought. And then I want to be, I also have another thought that I want to be very lazy. Right? So I'm lying in bed all day. So though I wish to be a rich person, I will be a poor person. So my action was lying in bed, which is inaction, right? So that's included in action. Now, suppose I want to be very rich. I want to lie in bed all day. Now, what what are the kind of actions I will take? I will take a minimum action, go buy a lottery ticket. Maybe I'll become rich like that. Maybe if I'm somewhere and I see an opportunity to steal, I'll steal. Maybe I'll become rich like that. So all this is put together. It's not one, one, one. You get
Okay.
it?
Yes, but it's slightly difficult to digest because somewhere I feel that the thought, if I want to come and meet you, I have a thought, and maybe in the evening or tomorrow I am at your home, right? So that thought, okay, action is there, but thought is also a powerful tool. So that was what I was thinking.
Yes, thought is a powerful tool because it makes an action happen and it interprets the actions which have happened.
True. So just one line, a lot of people say that the secret doesn't work. And I the same. So somewhere it has some meaning, right? You just
Uh,
visualize, and I know it's wishful thinking and it's wrong, but somewhere maybe I don't.
no, 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 don't bring in too many concepts. However, there is a video on the YouTube channel that talks about the secret and thoughts making things happen. So you can go look at that. But
Okay,
in
ma'am.
terms of uh, this conversation, your thoughts do make things happen because your thoughts make your actions and your inactions happen.
Thought makes actions and inactions happen. Okay, ma'am. I'll take that. Thank you so much.
Deep Raj, that example was funny because this year I was wishing for rest because I was feeling burnt out and I got 2 months of rest in the form of recovery from surgery. Okay. Yeah, these things do happen, and you have to be quite astute actually to see. I mean, this is really it's half light-hearted only. It's not like every time you want rest, you're going to fall ill. But you have to be astute to see how the combination of things you have wanted has led to this thing that you have got, or how what you have asked for has resulted in this. So, Deepraj, if you keep on saying, I want to get married, I don't want to get married, I want to get married, don't want to get married, then what will happen to you? You will get married to an air hostess who's there half the time and not there half the time. But then, so somebody asks you, do you want a air hostess? No, I don't want to marry a. I don't actually want to marry a air hostess, but the consequence of all the thoughts put together gives forth a result that you have never considered. So be warned, all of y'all who are on the borderline. Yes, Taranjeet.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Janvi. Yeah, I just wanted to take the point that was just put forward by Mr. Ganesh regarding the thought, vasana, thought, desire, action, and all those things. So it's my viewpoint, and you can correct me if I'm wrong there. I think in this sequence, the assumption is that it's my vasana, my thought, my desire, my actions. But I think karma goes beyond my, in the sense that even if like I have a thought to take the rest, right? Now that thought may come back to me through an action of others, right? Say, the example that you told that, okay, a housewife wants to take rest, right? And then probably that action, that thought has resulted into some action in the universe also, right? In the sense that I went out to eat something and I got food poisoning and I'm taking rest now. Means that thought can result into any action. It's not just my, it's the sequence is not, the assumption should not be my vasana, my thought, my desire, my action. It can be anything. Thought has been taken, I has been expressed in some form, and that thought can manifest in the universe in whichever way, and it can come back to you. That's my view. I don't know if that's
Yeah, here in Vedanta, at least, it is entirely you. You wanted rest. So you went out to eat because you didn't want to cook. Okay. And because you didn't want to cook and you wanted rest, you went out to the place to eat, which was closest to you because you didn't want to put in it. Now, the place closest to you happened to be the roadside pani puri wala,
right.
chaat wala. So you
Right.
ate there. Then you got food poisoning. So it's
Correct.
your dealings completely. If you
Right.
hadn't got food poisoning, something else would have happened. But the thing is, all these are nimitta matrams. Nimitta matram means how do you translate it? It is just excuses or instruments. They are not the movers and shakers. Mover and shaker is within you.
Yeah.
Some
Thank you.
excuse will be there, but that's not the real thing.
Right. Right. The origin lies still in your thought, original thought and vasana. That origin still there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
All right. So now let's okay, so remember all your thoughts put together may eventually lead you in a direction that you had no intention of going. Let us say that you can make up any amount of examples like this, right? Let us say that you want to be with your spouse. Your spouse wants to go to a movie. Okay, somebody asks you, do you want to go and see a movie? Your answer is no. But you want to be with your spouse who wants to see a movie. So now you're ending up seeing a movie every Saturday because that's what your spouse likes to do. Now, what is making you go to a movie that you don't wish to go? You have a desire to be with your spouse or family or friend or whoever on earth it is. So we get committed into things that we actually have no desire for because to fulfill our desire, we have to do that thing. Now, suppose you ask me, do you want to go today? Do you want to go to do interiors of cottages? My answer is no. Why? I'm not an interior designer. Why will I go and look for tiles and sanitary ware and I don't know what paints and things like that? But there is this thing that you have to put up the university. So, what does it include? Now the cottages are there. You find bed sheets and towels and napkins and sanitary ware and tiles. Like, never in my life. If you had asked me, do you want to go look at tiles? Yesterday, Jayashri and I and Harish were examining various tiles. None of us have ever done this before, I suppose. I don't want to look at tiles. Do I want to go to the market and hunt for tiles and sanitary ware? No. That I have to do because we have to put up the cottages. Cottages will require all this. So, very often you get locked into actions which you claim you have no desire for, but are the resultant of the desires that you do have. Vidushi. So when we say you get what you deserve, not what you desire, by getting what you deserve, do we mean result in desire? Yes, correct. Deserve is equal to result in desire. That's right. Okay, so now let's go.
Just one last line, ma'am.
Yes.
It's a very scary concept. I don't know. I feel it's
And
so.
it should be. It should be because we are randomly thinking up thoughts. Just randomly, any thought, anywhere, anyhow. The consequence of which will be what we don't know. It's like you're making a dish and you're just putting everything from the fridge into the dish. What is that dish going to be? Nobody's going to know.
And if you think of any scary thought, who knows, right?
Who knows? We don't know how it will function. So, therefore, Vedanta has always recommended that
Regulate intellect. Regulate.
there's one most important thing that Vedanta is harping about. What is that thing?
Thought of the self.
Thought of the self. Very good. Thought of the self ensures that that is where you're going, nowhere else. If you find the thought of the self too high to maintain, please maintain the thought of your goal because that will take you wherever you want to go. If you don't have a goal, your actions, your thoughts will become random And your consequences will also become random. Yes, Momita, deliberately posit the higher goal. Be clear what you're trying to do. Not as random stuff. One day you wake up from the bed, you say this. One day you wake up from the bed, you say that. A very clear purpose in life. What is your purpose? What is your plan of action to reach that purpose? All this should be extremely clear to you. And if it is, that is where you will go. If it is not, na ram bharose. Where you'll go, nobody can tell. Taranjit, it's scary in one way, however, gives one the complete control. That's right. So you have complete control over your life, whether you think so or you don't think so. So it's scary because it puts the responsibility on you. And it is enriching because it puts the responsibility on you. Yes, Mahesh.
Yeah, so what is the difference between desire, what you desire and what you deserve? What do you mean when you say certain thing is deserved and certain thing is desire? I mean, there's just that phrase that you get what you deserve, not what you desire. What is the meaning of deserve in that sentence and desire in that sentence?
Vidushi just said, no, resultant desire is what you deserve. In whatever you work for, if you want to take it in layman's sense, whatever you work for. You may desire wealth all you want, but if you're lying in bed, you ain't getting it.
Yeah,
So
that's
you will get
understandable,
what you deserve.
but so it's not got anything to do with earning the reward. It's just the resultant desire. It's not got anything to. I thought deserve meant, you earned your this thing.
Yes, that's the same thing. That one is a technical way of putting it, and one is a layman's way of putting it. The way Vidushi put it, that deserve is equal to resultant desire. That's a technical way of saying that you will have to earn, that you have earned whatever you have got, and whatever else you wish to get, you will need to earn it. Just one is technical and one is like layman's terms. There's no difference between these two. So when you say resultant desire means, take this example. I want to be rich. I'm lying in bed all day. So I'm not going to deserve wealth, right? I want to be rich. I'm lying in bed all day. So my resultant desire is, I'm not going to be rich. Same thing.
A bit yet not so clear because somehow I feel even if you had a desire to lie in bed and I'll take this example of the person who was bedridden. She was bedridden, or like Deepraj when he was wanted to take a break and he fell ill and had to take a break. It just seems like it was punishment. He deserved it, sort of thing. I'm just trying to. He deserved falling ill. Ideally for him, the rest would have been if he was well and the advisor told him, you take a 2-month break, you've been working too hard. That's one thing that he would be, but then that he fell ill seems like he was punished, sort of thing. In a sense, you aren't really resting if you're falling ill. I just wasn't sure that deserve is also earned and deserve is also punished. So I just thought that there seems to be a sort of difference between being punished for as deserved as opposed to earned something. So I
There
have
is
to think
no
about this.
difference. No, there is no difference except the layering you're putting. In your mental framework, there is something called being punished. In nature, there is no such thing. Punished for you is something negative. These are all human constructs. When I put my hand in the fire and the fire burns my hand, you can't call it being punished. You're not being punished. It is a natural consequence. There is no punishment. There is no, who is there to punish you? Who is there? You're not, remember that statement? You're not punished for your actions, you're punished by your actions. You've heard this a million times, right? Swamiji says it all the time. There's no such thing as punished. Punished is a human construct. It's a what should I say? It's a loaded term. It's a layering on a consequence. If you look at it purely objectively, it's just a consequence. What is the punishment? No, who's punishing you for anything? No, nobody's rewarding you. Nobody's punishing you. You are simply getting the consequences of what you do. So if I become a very rich person because I work so hard, I'm not being rewarded for my work. It's simply the consequence of what I did. If I go to jail, I'm not being punished in nature's laws, simply the consequence of what I did. But in a human judgmental state, there is some reward and punishment and all of that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just think about it because this has been troubling me for some time now. I'm not sure I've fully grasped it, but because I somehow yet see a difference between desire and deserve. But that's fine.
Yes, there
I'll
is
think
a
about it
difference. The difference is the loading you're doing on the word. That is the difference. Think about that aspect, then you'll get it.
Okay. Thank you.
Taranjeet, yeah.
Yeah, Janki, understood your point. I think it is very valid. The layering that we put in is the basic difference between what we deserve. But another thought came to my mind. You can again give me your views, thoughts on it. That the desire, as we are discussing, it's from my perspective, in the sense that my resultant desire or whatever, it is from the individual's perspective. What we deserve means what we ultimately get, or we say, yehi meri kismati, what we deserve, right? Is basically maybe a resultant or can be seen as a resultant of collectively all the individuals in the universe, whatever interactions are taking place. Means that universe is also resultant is with respect to my desires, right? But there is a overall resultant also, right? Including me, you, everyone in the universe, and that resultant results in some uh, response back to me, and that is what we may call as what we deserve. I don't mean that.
No, not when you come to the third part of the book. In the initial part of Vedanta, when you start it, then they do tell you the effect of the environment and all that. Because when you first start, it is too much to take that it's all on you. So as we build up slowly, we start by saying there is you, there is the world, you do some stuff, world does some stuff, you have to learn to deal with the world, blah, blah. All the story goes on. So that's a very basic level. Now we've come towards the end of the book, where it's gone into pure Vedanta. Not, I wouldn't say pure Vedanta, it's gone to the actual statements it wants to make. It has gradually grown up from this stance and come to the final conclusion that it's only you. It's not anyone else. The result of what you get is only what you have done, not what anyone else has done. Now you may say that is impossible. I wanted to read my Vedanta books, and my wife said, no, you have to go with me for a movie. If I don't go with her for a movie, she will fight with me. So I couldn't read the book because the resultant was that was the combination of my desire to read the book and my wife's desire to see the movie. That you can say initially. Later on, you say, no, it is only me because it's the resultant of my wanting to read Vedanta, my wanting to be married and to have a harmonious relationship, and all these things that I want put together now have resulted in me not reading this book but seeing a movie instead.
Yeah, that's okay. But the point, what I was trying to, there are still two different things, right? What I desire and deserve, right? Because if I say it's because of me desire. So wherever me comes, means I comes, then there has to be the opposite part, that is the world. Either if we purely believe Vedanta non-duality, then there is no me also, there is no I also. But if we believe I is there, then there has to be the other part from where the reaction will come. If the I is doing an action, the reaction has to come from the other side. So both have to be there. That's where I'm saying the deserve part is coming from the universe back. The rest of the non-I, if I say I part, then there is a non-I part also.
Correct. But then just notice what you're saying, no? I do what I do, and the reaction comes. The reaction is nothing but the consequence of what I did.
No,
Every
it
action
has to
will have a
be.
reaction.
The reaction is again a resultant of all the actions. It's not just my actions,
No,
right?
only yours.
Because the non-I, the non-I part includes many I's, right? Many
True.
other I's.
True, but you've got to go beyond this point. What you're saying is not incorrect. It's okay at a certain level. But when we are in this book, we are in this level, then we are coming back to only me. Because you say, okay, I told my wife, let us read Vedanta together. She says, no, we will go and watch what's his name, Mika Singh or something together. And you say, see, I can say whatever I want, but my wife will say whatever she wants. But who chose this wife? You say, I never chose this wife. My parents chose the wife. But then why did I listen to my parents?
Okay, let us try to extend it to another scenario, the Air India crash. So all the 200 plus passenger, we are saying that they somehow has a resultant desire to die.
Correct. That's what we are saying, except for one. So one person managed to survive and everybody else managed to die. So 999, 199, or whatever the number was, had that resultant desire, and this one person didn't have it. Now you will say, no, how is it possible everybody has the same resultant desire? At any point in this world, there's so many people are simultaneously dying, but they're not dying in one geographical area. So we say, oh my God. The only difference between dying in an air crash and dying in any other place is that these 200, 500 died together in the same geographical area. Otherwise, it's happening constantly.
Exactly. How they all came in the same geographic, there has to be another level of intelligence that is operating. That is operating on that. Otherwise, I means to me, if we are saying it is intelligence there, then it has to be another level. It can't be that only my desire are there and nothing else is operating. It can't be.
Nothing else. The laws are operating. What we're trying to understand is the laws. So they are operating.
Those laws are giving me the reaction, right? If the example there you take the law of hand putting on fire and burning, so that is the world that is giving me back. So the other part is always there. So the deserve part is about the resultant of the other part. That is my understanding.
I don't know how else to say it, because then we both will be repeating ourselves. Go and think about it a bit.
Okay.
Every reaction is the result of what you have done. Think about this statement.
That is true. I was just desiring what I desire and what I deserve, because we see a difference in there. That's the only point that
step by step. Go step. And what you deserve is the reaction.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
That deserving comes out of what you have done.
Exactly. Yeah, the source is always me. That is not in it. The source, but there is a difference because there is another resultant beyond my resultant desire. There is another resultant.
No, there isn't. It is entirely your own action. Everything else is nimitta matra. Everything else is merely an excuse, merely a external something.
Okay, say.
Why don't you think about it? Because I'm seeing lots of hands raised, and you will never go forward. You think about it and come up with a additional point. Then we can discuss it.
This last point I want to make. Suppose I have 10 ACs in my home. I switch on all the 10 ACs. It is going to create fluctuation in others' homes also. As simple as that. So that's my. So I think they are totally very much interrelated. There is a resultant reaction also. If there is a resultant action, there is a resultant reaction. Okay. But I got your point. I will think it over. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Mamita? You're muted, Mamita.
Okay. Am I audible now? Is this correct to say that the secret is actually saying something like the world is different from you, and you can wish and get what you want from the world? Whereas what we are saying in Vedanta is be careful what you think, because there is no difference between you and the world.
Yeah,
Is
both
this
statements
correct?
are true. Both are true. When people misunderstand thinking secret says you just imagine it. If at all they're saying the right thing, or wherever they're saying the right thing, it will have to be the same as Vedanta, because the right cannot be different. If you're saying a wrong thing, then it will be different. But right, whichever one is right, there'll be only one of them. So what you're saying are not two contradictory stories, but part of the same thing. You are, the world is a reflection of you. Okay, so both your statements will come under the same general principle that your world is a reflection of you.
But then how can I get something from me? It's like I am seeing a division there then. So when I go by what the secret is saying, I'm encouraging desires. Whereas the point should be to be wary of desires.
Both are true. You cannot, you have to be wary of desires, but you also have to fulfill desires. Otherwise, you will be caught in frustration. So you have to very carefully and intelligently fulfill your desires.
Okay, but doesn't it sound like it's coming from greed and misunderstanding?
If it comes
Like if
from
I'm
greed and misunderstanding, then you are not intelligently and carefully doing it.
so that seems to be the premise of the secret is what I thought.
No, because if what they're saying is true, then it will have to be the same general formula: have a goal, fix your mind onto that goal, work in that direction. That same general formula has to work. There is no other. There is no other way of doing this. There's no other
But
reasonable way of doing it.
the gratification of desires in this way will only lead to further entanglement, no?
I mean, anything can lead to further entanglement. You can think of the self and get entangled in the thought of the self. So
But
that,
that will be a good thing.
no, why? The worst one. Because so close and so far. What Ramatirtha says, what does he say? You have dropped 100 copper coins and picked up a silver one. Beautifully phrased. You think you've done better, but you're in exactly the same place as you were earlier. So it's
Okay.
nobody's anti the fulfillment of desires. And of course, like a child, you can't tell the child, oh, you should not get involved in toys. You have to be disciplined about your usage of toys. And then if you use them disciplined, you will grow out of it one day. Nobody's anti the fulfillment of desires which should be fulfilled. I mean, there'll be some desires which we feel, no, I don't want to go in that direction. Then you say no to that. And there's not a random thing, all desires have to be fulfilled. That's why carefully and intelligently you have to weave your way through whatever mess we have already created in our life. By mess, I mean all the vasanas. We've created a bunch of vasanas. Now we have to very carefully weave our way through that. And for that, you will need goals. What goal?
Okay.
You have to have something from the world.
Okay.
Yes, Mahesh?
Just this example, suppose there's a father who's aging and his son is in the US and he has a very strong desire to meet his son because before he dies, he's rather old. And then his son is too busy and he says, I can't come down to meet you, but his desire is very strong. And suppose he suddenly wins a lottery ticket to go to his son's this thing. So is that sort of what we say he deserved winning the lottery ticket to meet his son in the US? Is that what can we say that because he has a strong desire to meet his son and he won a lottery to go there? So do we say he deserved winning that lottery?
Yeah, you could say that, but just by wishing to meet your son, if people don't win lotteries, so whatever, I mean,
Okay, so
that
suppose,
possibility exists, a better possibility, or I don't know what, a more likely possibility is this man will die without meeting his son and then be born as maybe a pug in the US and then this get adopted by the son or something, and the son will look after that. I mean, I'm making up stories, okay? Don't take me too seriously. I mean, anything is possible. Millions of possibilities become I don't know, a flower that is gifted to his son. Anything.
but suppose he does win the lottery, do we say he deserved it?
It's not just by wishing to see his son. He has to have had a whole lot of other causes, including purchase of a ticket.
No, suppose I mean, he was too old or, sort of, or didn't have the money to purchase a ticket, maybe.
No,
So
purchase a ticket means purchase a lottery ticket.
Yeah, but he may have taken done it
No,
long
may
back.
have, he
And
definitely has to. He can't win the lottery
okay,
unless
when he did purchase a lottery ticket, okay. But then do we say he deserved it once he won that thing, that he deserved meeting his son?
Whatever you get is what you have deserved. Now, do we say we have deserved what? You have to work backwards. Whatever you have got is what you deserve. Whatever you will get will be what you deserve. Do we
Not
say
what you
no? We are
deserve.
not. And when you're trying to understand a concept, please don't go to unknowns. Start with knowns. Start with simple examples. If you're trying to understand maths, you don't start with binomial theorems. You start at the basics, 2 plus 2. So take 2 apples and 2 apples and put them together and see you got 4 apples. Yay! You can't start with binomial theorem. Go step by step. Do we want to establish this? Then let's understand it. Simple. I want to do my CA exam. If I study, I stand a chance. If I don't study, I don't stand a chance. It's not going to drop on me from the high heavens. Okay, I studied, but I failed. Now, do I still want to do CA? In which case, I will have to study some more and give the exam some more. There are people who've given 5, 6 attempts and they haven't passed. So you have to ask yourself, do I still want to do it? Am I still committed? And I do it again. And if I do it enough times, given the work I do, I have to pass one day. Oh, simple, no?
Okay.
Why should you go so complicated? I want to do up my house. If I sit at home and I never meet a designer, I never see any products in the market, how will I do my house up? I can't. Now I have to take the necessary actions, and based on the actions I take, I will eventually deserve something.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I get it in certain cases, but yeah, this peculiar example which I gave, I thought I wasn't clear that.
Go into all that. In terms, it is pointless for us to discuss those examples because it's not helping. There's so much speculation. What we do know is that if you were to work in the right direction, you have to get that thing. That's all you're establishing.
Fine. And by the way, 2 plus 2 is equal to 4 is not proved yet. So in mathematics, if I'm not, I mean, so just for information, it's not a very, very basic thing. But anyway,
yes,
that's
but
just
when you start questioning that, it becomes non-basic. If you take 2 apples and 2 apples, then it's very basic.
No, but there's no proof for 2 plus 2 is equal to 4.
That's because mathematicians are crazy. But anyway, I know that if I want 4 apples and you had 2 apples and I had 2 apples, if I take your 2 apples, I will have 4 apples. regardless of whether anyone else says this will happen or not happen.
Yeah, I was just okay. Thank you.
Mahesh, if you start with the piano axioms, that can be proved very easily.
No, it isn't because that's something that already has been decided. Russell tried to do it to prove it. He's given a very, very long proof which goes over 3-4 pages, but there's a flaw in that too. But anyway, we'll talk about the side. But
Yes, I think you better take
the
that
piano
into a
axiom is not
mathematics
true.
classroom. Yes, Tinky.
Yeah, Janki ji. So, 2, 3 things actually now. So much has been discussed. One is yes, when I have been overworked and tired, the thought comes to my mind. If I had fever, I would get to rest and things would still happen. And you won't believe it, I do get fever just for a day. It comes strangely and goes away. That's it. That's one thing about the manifestation. But
No,
my thing
wait. That's not what we said. That's not what we said. What the example here was to establish that you get something you have not asked for. You are giving an example where I asked for it and got it.
I asked to rest.
Yes, you asked to rest and you got fever.
And I got, yeah.
Yeah,
And
you
then
didn't want fever.
No, I didn't ask for fever. Yeah, I asked to rest. That was one thing. Second thing is, suppose I have a desire. No, but I wish I could be a queen. Now, I'm not going to become a queen. But the definition of queen is also different. No, I may not be a queen in a palace or of a country, but I may be queen of my home. So who decides? And will I become the queen? Am I a queen already? I don't know. I mean, how does one, does every design,
Yeah.
huh?
Yes, of course. You will behave. If you want to be a queen, you will have all the nakras of a queen in your own home.
So you behave like
Queen bee.
when a desire is not fulfilled, does it mean that I don't deserve what I desire?
That's correct.
Hmm?
Yes.
Even though I work hard for it, but I still don't deserve it.
Yes, of course. Is there some rule that if I worked hard, this is a rather childlike way of looking at it, that if I work for it, I have to get it? No, says who?
No, just like you say, when you desire something, it manifests in some way or another.
No,
Like,
we're not saying that. That is all the secret and all. We are saying, how do you get things? Please, for everybody, focus. We are talking about everything you have got in your life is because of something you desire. So then people have the question, then how do I have things I don't desire? And that is the question we're dealing with at the moment. Everybody, please note what we're dealing with. How am I, if everything is because of my desiring, why do I have things I don't desire? I desire to learn to pass the CA exam. I am not passing the CA exam. Why not? A, I don't have the brains for it. B, I haven't done the work for it. In both of these cases, what has happened? Tinky, what has happened in both of these cases?
Something that I lack is not allowing that desire to be
I
fulfilled.
simply haven't worked enough. If I don't have the brains for it, it is I who have not created those brains. So let me create it. If I haven't worked enough, it is I who have not worked enough. So let me work enough. Only two reasons I don't get something, right? You just don't understand it, you don't have the brains for it, or you don't have the actions for it. If you have these two, then you get it. And both these two you can get by your own work. So once you deserve it, you get it. Like we had discussed, where did we discuss that example of I take a seed, I plant a seed. I put fertilizer, I put water, I take care of it, I put it under the sun, I've done the whole thing. Next day, I go and look at it and I say, where is my sprout? There's no sprout. For a week, there is nothing. For 10 days, there is nothing. For 1 month, there is nothing. And I say, see, I haven't got it. And I stop watering. Then it'll never grow. But after some time, if I know that this seed takes 2 months to grow, to sprout, and I have to water it every day, then I keep on watering it. Then after 2 months, which is the expected gestation period, then I can go and examine whether what am I not getting now.
So that means there is a time when that desire is fulfilled. Like for this air crash victims, like how would they all desire at this? Is it that everybody's prarabdha got over at the same time, or is it that just uh, it became an excuse for them to leave at that time? Sabka usi ka wahi time tha jaane ka. That was it.
Yes, of course. We think so much about it because it's like that it's sort of brought to your notice because of circumstances. Otherwise, like on the surface of this globe, how many people are dying at the same time? We don't say, oh, how come all their prarabdha is getting over at the same time? If all their prarabdha didn't get over at the same time, there would never be deaths only because one after the other, 8 billion have to die. Can you imagine? We'll all be living for I don't know how long. Okay.
So then that also means that suppose there's somebody who's very, very old, they're ailing, sick, and suffering, and they keep saying, I want to die, I wish God would release me, pray for my death, things like that. But still they don't. The desire is very, very strong. So again, it's because of prarabdha that it will not be fulfilled.
Yeah, don't use different words. It's their resultant desire is not asking for death as yet.
Oh, the resultant. Thank you, Janki ji.
Momita. If I desire X and get Y, it's because one, the resultant desire is Y. Yes, but that's it. It's because you get whatever is the resultant desire. Two, I haven't done what it takes to get X because I'm not getting what it takes. Is this correct? This is the same thing. There's no difference in this. The same thing. If I desire X and get Y, it's because my resultant desire is Y. Now, why is my resultant desire Y? Because either I haven't thought it through, or B, I haven't acted it through. I haven't done all the actions yet.
So if I don't like the result, which is Y, then I should get back to getting rid of Y or focusing on X.
No, then I keep working till I get it to X. Remember the wall example? It's a yellow wall. You're putting blue paint on it. It's appearing green. You're getting green. You go on putting blue, it will become blue.
So there's no point in understanding why I got Y. Is that?
No, you should not forget why you got Y. You have to focus on how to get X.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Naeem Sheikh. In India, some unfortunate get gang raped. Did they deserve it? Like I said, Naeem, do not go to those kind of examples to understand basic things. Everything one gets is what you deserve. Deserve doesn't come as punishment. However, don't go to these things. It's pointless. None of us. Keep it simple so that we learn the process and we execute the process. And we don't, you see, in our mind, we are Arun Sehgal, why are you sharing this EPF?
Arunji, we can.
Omkar, just disable sharing by everyone. Just say host only.
You get what you deserve. Keep two simple examples and use it for our well-being instead of using examples like this, because that makes us cruel. So you see somebody who's born handicapped. So you say, oh, he deserves it. So this deserving, we make it a punishment, we make it a negative thing. You don't really, I mean, it's not for us to say whether it's negative or positive. Nature doesn't have negative and positive, it has consequences. And you can do many good actions and get what we call negative consequences. So, that's why I don't go there. It unfortunately makes us cruel and negative when we think like that and say, oh, that person deserved it. Like, that's not how we look at it. How we look at it is, I have to do right actions. Taranjit, if a Jivan Mukta does not have any desires, then will she still deserve anything? No, he cannot deserve anything because he doesn't have desires. Okay, now can we do at least one paragraph in this class? We have to finish, remember, in 16 weeks. Who will read the next para?
I'll read, ma'am.
Go ahead.
Basis the above analysis and conclusion, it would be interesting to observe what exactly happens to a person at death, to his gross, subtle, and causal bodies, and the Atman, the self within. It is obvious that the physical body has gone, it lies there. And the Atman, of course, cannot go anywhere since it is all pervading. It exists everywhere. Being so, it should exist in the dead body as well. Besides, movement of an object is possible from a place where it exists to a place where it is not. As the Atman pervades everywhere, there is no place where it cannot exist. Hence it cannot move. Thus, the physical body of a person and the Atman are very much at the time of the death. It is only the other two components of the individual, the causal and the subtle body, move out. Therefore, the transference of the causal and subtle body from one gross body to another is designated at the death of the former body and the birth of the latter. So it says that the Atman, that is the self, causal and subtle bodies are there. Once the gross body goes away, it goes to another gross body to.
What? Say it properly.
The causal and subtle move to another gross.
Correct.
And that's how rebirth happens.
And what is still there?
Atman. Atman is all.
And what else is there?
Causal and subtle.
No, right there. When a person is dead, two things are there, two things have gone. What are the two things there?
Causal and subtle.
Mm-hmm.
Body and Atman.
Body and Atman. Very good. So what happens at the time of death is the body is still there. You can see it's still there. Atman is still there. How do you know Atman is still there? Atman is still there because
all pervading.
All pervading.
Something can move from a place where it is to a place where it is not. I am here. This body is here. So I can move from here to there. Right? But if I'm already there, how can I move? Within this now, where is it going to move? It can't move, right? Within that boundary. So since Atman is all pervading, wherever you go, well, Atman is already there. So it cannot move. Is it clear? An object can move from a place where it is to a place where it is not. If something is all pervading, it is everywhere. Where can that object move to? Therefore, Atman cannot move. And it is your culture tells that to you. Because how? Every time you pass a dead body, what do?
Namaskar.
Ram Satya hai. The means what? What is Sat? Sat is what exists. Right? So the Brahman is still there. That is why you're doing Namaskar, because God is still there. He hasn't moved out from the dead body. Neither is, otherwise, why are you praying to a dead body? At least pray to a live one. Praying to a dead one because Atman is still there. The truth is still there. So gross body is there, Atman is there. Then what has gone? The causal body and the subtle body. Causal body means your vasanas. Subtle body means your mind and intellect. So mind and intellect, along with the causal body, have left the gross body and possibly gone to another gross body. This paragraph clear?
Yeah, Janki ji, just a very quick one.
Mhm.
Sorry for clicking on the wrong one. I wanted to click on react and it went on to share.
Okay.
But I was just trying to, writing the second part, this paragraph probably answers the question I wanted to ask.
Mhm.
And I can connect that now. Is because in the previous conversation, we did not cover the subject of capability. We talked about what we desire, we talked about what we deserve, but there are times when we desire and we work very hard. The resultant desire is also to become the Prime Minister of India. And we're working very hard. But the fact is that I don't have the capability.
We covered that.
No, I'm just coming to that in a minute. And, and therefore, fair to say that if the desire is strong, my body and not body, my subtle body will be born again, and the desire will continue till such time I become the Prime Minister in my subsequent births.
Yes, that's only if you are not a self-driven person. Otherwise, there is no reason why you shouldn't become in this birth.
Janki ji, capability is not there because today some 100 politicians want to become prime ministers. They don't have the capability to do that. They don't have the intellect. They don't have the leadership. There are limitations.
Yes, but those limitations were created by them and therefore can be removed by them.
But not necessarily in this Janma, no, Janki ji?
Not necessarily.
Huh.
But there is no reason why they shouldn't do it. The
They will
thing
try.
is, they don't identify where their lack is. They don't deal with that lack. They are too full of themselves. Instead of saying, I'd like to do X, but I'm not capable today. So what do I need to do to become capable? They'll try to force their way. So that doesn't work. So you can increase your capability, you
Yes.
can increase your abilities, but you must be willing to admit that you need to improve them.
Yes. People do that. I've seen they admit they do it, but then they just can't make it to a CEO or the Prime Minister. They just can't because there is a point up to which they can grow. Despite everything they try,
Yes, if you're
designs.
taking such an extreme example, yes, it's
I'm
possible.
taking an extreme example just to make a point.
Yeah, sure, that is possible. But just always remember that we're perfectly capable of doing it even in this Janma, but you should know the way. And yes, if it's something that you've dreamt so beyond your capabilities, which is usually unlikely, then yes, if you really want it, you will get it sometime.
Right.
Just to add to that, Janki, what Arun sir was saying, what if the person is not capable, but the other competition, doesn't put in the desired efforts, then the person who's not capable will get that position, right? That also is possible.
Yes, Deepraj?
You said that the subtle body may move on to a gross body. So does that imply that there are cases where the subtle body just doesn't move on?
No, it only implies that we are still going with the idea of the theory of reincarnation. We're not establishing anything.
Okay. So it may move on, it may not move on, but
Yeah,
that's
that is not under discussion at the moment.
under discussion. Okay, thank you.